Would you do attendance, please, Matt?
Sean Gagan,
Here.
Dave Winchester.
Here.
Rich Rotella,
Here.
Matt Montgomery,
Here.
William Foster, Emily Fitzgerald.
Here.
Josh Tripp.
Here.
Anthony McGuire's out today, and Matt McGinnis.
Thank you. And we have an intern of Aiden DeBeck with us here today also. Welcome to you.
Hi.
Welcome, Aiden.
Next on the agenda is chairperson. I am up for that. I believe it's probably time to elect a new chairperson. I've been doing this position for well over 25 years, and I think it's time to elect a new chairperson and start in a direction here, so. Don't everyone speak at once. I mean,
Rich.
Nope. Thank you, but I decline. Emily.
Why?
Yeah.
I wouldn't even know what to do.
What are you looking at me for?
well, this didn't go over very well.
I nominate Sean Gagan.
I second.
Okay, we'll keep this for now, but my term, I believe, is up in March on the committee also, and I have decisions to make at that point. We won't get into that at this point, but why don't we bring this back and,
Do you have is there a vice chair for this committee?
no, I've just done it. I did it for Tim Emery 20-some years ago when we started the committee, and it's been that way ever since.
Might be a way to ease somebody in, you know?
Yeah. But this is March now, so that's
Oh,
snuck up on us too, so
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know when they bring this stuff up, but
When is our scheduled next meeting?
March 26th, same place, same time.
So why don't we table it for that and then
that sounds like a great idea, David.
make a nomination.
Good, yeah. Has this committee ever done like co-chairs? I know in a lot of places we've done some co-chairs just because I know
We should
people
have
are
a
so
co-chair
busy.
in case the chair isn't.
Just wondering if we don't entertain that, cause I know sometimes attendance at these meetings, it just,
It happened.
life happens and it's tough to get in.
Okay, that's
So when you say your term's up, is it on this board or the deputy board or both boards?
just this board.
Just this
I
board?
think I saw March of 25, the council will have to re-up on the rec committee.
So that would be at the meeting prior to this meeting, so if you don't re-up, we'll be chairless.
Yeah,
So
this is great.
if we're gonna do a chair and an assistant, Josh, if you would be interested in doing the chair, I'll do the assistant.
Perfect.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to have Dr. Tripp as the chairperson of the rec committee and Deputy Chief Winchester as the co-chair of the committee. Any other comments or questions or anything? All those in favor? Opposed? Nobody.
I just got, there's no issue with me not being a resident here of being a chair of this committee, is there?
I don't believe so.
No, you're the superintendent, I think you're,
Grandfather.
grandfather.
Okay,
And you have a co-chair that lives here anyway.
gotcha,
so-
okay.
And if there is, they'll let us know, but I don't think where he's with you, I think we're good.
Okay.
If not, then we can just swap it. That worked out even better. See how that worked?
That's what
We went from absolutely nothing to everything in a
Sitting over
second.
there.
How'd that work? Any other comments on that? The next steps, I think we just took the next steps, right? Is that, okay, very good.
I wrote it
Thank
in here and I'll send it to Jim to upload for the public.
you. Okay,
Talked to Mike yesterday, Mike Zelinski, gave him the pool target date of June 16th. Let me double check that. No,
That's that Monday that you and I talked about.
yeah, it's what I typically try and do with Mike is tell him to have it ready before we actually need it ready, just to, in case there's any small little hiccups or weather, or that way we have a few days. So I told Mike June 13th to have it ready, which is that Friday before summer starts, cause as of right now, school will be getting out June 10th, with taking away the snow days, or adding in the snow days, whatever the proper wordage is. But school calendar does say June 16th, but they're looking at June 10th. So target date would be June 16th for the official date. That will also depend on if school ends up having to go later than the 16th or going to the 16th. We do live in Maine, so weather is a little weird. And then he did recommend getting the wall looked at. I'm gonna try and get a hold of Jason Wardwell again, see if he can assess it. To me, it looks fine, but obviously I wanna get it double looked at, make sure that it is good and is safe to fill and have people swim in. And we'll go from there.
We weren't losing any water last year, right?
Outside the natural.
Yeah, a little bit here and there, but not like it was.
And then just gotta get the deep end deck resurfaced or something, cause it's kinda uneven, the water just puddles there. So, outside of that, and then Mike's gonna do his normal opening.
Does the pool ever had a cover?
No.
Just drain it.
Well, cover can help with, excuse me, not losing water, and it can help retain some of the heat. So you just use pool cover when the water's in the pool.
I was
So it's
thinking
just covered
more-
at night. No, you don't lose as much through evaporation. So it's basically just, they're expensive. So that's the only thing. But you are staffed, cause they usually take 2 people. So you'd have enough people. If you want, I mean, we can look into what the cost would be, but I don't think you're losing that much water through evaporation. It's not like it's costing that much, and again, they are pretty expensive, and it's not like we're heating the pool, so.
Oh, that's free.
Right.
Anything else?
I know the Bay Festival wanted to use it again for the end of race, similar to what the Tour de Loc does, which I gotta get back to Jennifer on that. But that is good to go.
Alright, after school program update.
Yeah, so enrollment wise, we're down to 17 or 18. BACC took some of the siblings, like the older kids, started offering a program since their younger ones are there, gonna make it easier on the families. Otherwise, it's going fairly good. Kids are pretty well behaved, kind of getting used to a routine and whatnot. Staff wise, I am looking for a new lead teacher, so I can spend some time with my family as well. And then we got Mr. Aiden's one of our after school staff members, and then Matt Carter is. But just looking for a new lead teacher, unfortunately. Things did not pan out very well, so we're moving on and gonna keep offering the program for as long as we can. So,
Is that the one we spoke about?
yes.
If you send me a job description, I can put it out through our email blast.
I did have 2 employees of the RSU already handed in applications.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Alright, summer camp.
Summer camp, I'm gonna go, again, based off the RSU and last day of school. But we'll plan for June 16th to August 22nd, which is a typical 10-week program, 5 days a week except for that 1 week in July.
Was it come up in the Y committee meeting about enrollment seems to be very slow, seems to be down or very slow. Did we get that out?
I can send it out again, but
I've heard from a few parents who said that,
We got it out beginning of February.
yeah, they said the issue that they're having, and they've tried to get it rectified, but it's not working, is that the site only allows you to do Monday to Friday. You can't do any alternative schedules, like 3-day
That,
weeks.
someone did just ask me that yesterday.
Yeah.
And I had meant to connect with Heidi to see, cause when I look at it, I can see it all. But
So they can only sign up.
They can only sign up
for
for Monday to
when I
Friday.
went through the actual website and registering, I did only see Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
So that was a change at two of the other locations to go full week only. Were we maintaining options in Bucksport?
But last I knew, we were.
Okay. Alright, then, yeah, let's get a hold of Heidi and see about having people be able to do that online. Is it possible to send something through the school?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Is that back at the Miles Lane? I mean Jewish school. That's the Jewish school.
I was just gonna double check with Anthony, make sure there was no projects at Jewett.
Not that I'm aware of that we will have there.
Jewett's convenient and for myself to monitor both. Miles Lane, a little more space, but either one works.
Staffing,
Staffing, I'm gonna open that up this week. Imagine one of my staff from last year will wanna return, but I'm gonna open it to anyone and hire the best available, best for the kids. I know I gotta replace at least 2 camp staff from last year. One's going to the Air Force and I don't remember about the other one, but I know I gotta replace at least 2. And go from there.
Are you having a site director or are you doing,
Thank you for asking. So the plan is I'll have, so one of the staff that's coming back, she's she's getting in the education field. So gonna have her as like the, I guess quote unquote, assistant director. I'll still oversee it just to, it's a big thing. But and also to help her kind of build more confidence as a leader and whatnot.
How old is she, man?
She's 21?
is it Emma Brzezowski?
No, it's Abigail Hunt. So she's really excited. She had came to me in December and said I'm
great kid,
putting together
great kid.
activities and plans and like a schedule and I was like,
Good for
"That's
her.
awesome." So
That's good.
just gotta get with her soon, to kind of see what she's got and then gonna go next steps from there.
Be great to, if possible, get her involved in the hiring process. That'd be a good experience for her.
Absolutely. So,
Alright, summer plans.
outside of camp and the pool, we'll still do the doggy paddle fundraiser. I should be more available this summer to host a few sports camps outside of just Camp Gold Ball. I've already had some people already ask about summer sport camps. Getting those up and running. Do you still plan on being there at free soccer or?
Yep. I don't know if we'll do Tuesday and Thursday or just Thursday.
I gotta check with the Mike and John, see what nights they're going for the summer. I know one of them at least goes, I think it's typically the girls that go Tuesday, Thursday,
The girls go Tuesday, Thursday.
but there shouldn't be any maintenance on the game field. On the soccer game field.
Yeah, they don't, they don't use that field in the off season. That field is pretty much,
Yeah,
because
just
it's gotta
let it
be
grow.
overseeded and the goal mouths have to be,
Sodded in.
sodded in.
I'll get with them and see what their summer schedule looks like and then we can plan to pick up soccer.
Alright. Next item.
How about your, sorry,
Go ahead.
Sons of the Summer, cause I know you typically do 3 tournaments in the summer. You do boys basketball, girls basketball and soccer.
And soccer, yeah, those are middle to end of July. I think one of them does land the same weekend as Bay Festival?
Yeah, it's the girls again. I was hoping we could have got the boys. The first year was the boys, and our Bay Festival numbers were huge. As a matter of fact, when I helped out at the tournament on that Sunday, there was a lot of kids who were down in this kid zone that I saw up there. And then last year with the girls, I don't think you had as many teams, so we didn't
I
have, we didn't
I
see
didn't have a
people.
girls tournament last year. Didn't
That's
have
right, it
enough
ended up getting
teams signed
canceled. Yeah.
up, so. Which I've already had, I think it's up to 12 boys teams, schools reach out. And I'm at, I think, 4 or 5 girls. I mean, those do include Buck Sports.
How many do you need to run a tournament for
I
girls?
try and, well, at least 6. Nice even number, you can get some games in. But I try and do 16 teams each weekend and break them off into 2 divisions for each weekend. So it's potentially 30 other teams, not counting the Bucksport, if they participate.
So would it make sense to change that
I already had it.
to the more teams, you know what I mean, that on that weekend as opposed to 4 teams and 16 teams? As far as people and the events in town, and is that what you're getting at?
Well, it just I think it just provides a better, adds to the experience for the parents, cause if they're in between games and they gotta wait 4 hours instead of going to a hotel room or somewhere else, they can come downtown. And like I said, that one year, this place was mobbed with kids. But it's already been sent out there, and if he's already got teams responding, they probably penciled that day in.
I know
And I
there's-
think we talked,
I
there's
think
another tournament that
There's
goes on
another
around that same
tournament, the
time.
girls' weekend for boys.
Okay, I was just asking, we're good. Other, anything from anybody that open discussion?
Just a few things. And what, are you doing the soccer tournament this year, or are you not doing
That's
it?
my plan.
And is it that weekend, that third weekend in a row, that 26th or something?
Yes. Yep. I haven't put that one out there just yet. I do plan on doing that. I'm going to try and do a small baseball, softball tournament beginning of the summer. Just been trying to get my hands on childcare, make sure that's all taken care of and whatnot. And then baby number 2 is coming. So.
Hey,
Congrats.
congratulations.
Congratulations, Matt.
His best buddy's gonna be born after.
Well, I was gonna say, there's a lot of babies coming.
Now, let's make sure, this weekend, we get information to the teams that are at Sheriff's Cup about summer tournament.
Cause this weekend's middle school, summer one's high school.
Oh, I gotcha.
If there's a high school coach there, I will.
I gotcha, yeah.
Total Lock, what day is that?
Now that I got summer camp down, it's gonna be probably that Saturday. I think it's the 21st. It's typically the first Saturday of summer camp.
On that same date, are we past that bicycle race?
I was on their website and I did not see Bangor, Maine.
Just confirming, cause that's usually that day.
You're right. I did not, I really don't wanna reach out to them, cause I don't wanna open up that can of worms. I really prefer not to come back, but they sent out their schedule and Bangor, Maine was excluded.
Thank you.
No Bridge the Gap race this year?
Me personally, I don't, it's a little too much for me to bite. It was a lot of work going into it the night before and the day of. But if someone would wanna oversee it, I'm more than happy to pass on the stuff, but
Are you getting people reaching out about it?
I haven't in a few days.
I know you had some concerns about the availability of,
Yeah, those were my concerns as far as, cause waterfront's not open, or they don't have, the town doesn't have staff until June,
It didn't get destroyed this year by the winter.
which is a good
Yeah.
thing, but.
Is that something you could reach out to, like the track coaches at the high school,
I'd probably ask.
the Jones and,
Chris might be willing to help out, although he does a lot with the Tour de Lot.
Yeah,
So.
I think they may.
Matt Morrison's another one that might.
They have.
Not that he wouldn't be open to being asked again, but I think somebody did ask him. I think maybe you and I discussed it, because I brought Chris Jones up. don't think he was interested in doing that.
The other one, maybe to reach out to would be, Melissa Sukforth up at the cross-country coach up at the middle school. She's had a pretty successful program up there at the middle school. She may not too, I don't know, but it might be worth reaching out to her to see if she has any interest in.
It's a really cool event. I'd like, it'd be neat to keep that going.
No, I have nothing against it, it was just too much for me to bite last year and.
I know what you're gonna say, go ahead.
No,
Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, I mean, even if you had to change it, because he's right, I mean, last year we had the issue with the walkway, and Kevin Powder and I took a Friday, and then I had to grab Trent Goss, and we took another Friday, and we just kept rebuilding and rebuilding and rebuilding. This year, for whatever reason, we were spared, there's no damage. But it's hard to plan for that if the race is typically the same day as the May Maritime
Typically,
graduation.
yeah,
I think it's the
beginning
first
of May.
Saturday in May. So typically, it's very hard because we don't know what we're gonna get, cause the first employee doesn't come on until June. But the
Well,
highway can
I'm
do
just,
it.
if we were able to keep the event, could we move it more into the summer? Cause it's been cold, a few of those races.
Mhm.
Could we put it to a time where the weather was better for the run? Just a thought.
Yeah, it's possible, I know there's other runs going on.
Well, why don't you talk to Robin about possibility, if it would be later, if you, we brought in the timing group last year, right? Like, so that's a job that we don't have to worry about. I would think we could cover the registration piece of it. So really, you're looking at, excuse me, volunteers on the course. That's really kind of all you need if we can cover the registration.
Coning off the street.
Right, right. But I'd talk to Robin about open weekends in regards to not competing with other local races. And if it's better for this community to have it a little bit later, we do it a little bit later. And I think if you got some help from some of the local teams, then I don't think it would be as much on you. Like I said, we could take care of the registration piece.
We just gotta get someone else to chair it and run it.
Yeah.
What do we do with the money from that?
Went towards scholarships.
Is that something that could be a fundraiser for the track team if they're willing to help out with it? They could get a percentage like we do with football. I
Yeah.
mean, you and I do it together
They would
and
just have to get approval.
Fly gets a percentage of Camp Go Ball and the rest goes to the football.
What is the entry fee and how, I think like 250 runners.
Last year, I think we did 75, I believe. Could be wrong.
And
It was different because it was a 10 mile and 3 mile.
That's right. So, and what was the entry fee?
I wanna say 75.
75 runners at $75 a piece, is that what you're saying?
No, 250 runners.
Oh, yeah,
Did we have
Yeah,
any of
75.
those?
I'm tracking.
You had around 200. But it's typically in the past been,
It's 15 grand.
That's a lot of money.
Well, and the overhead too is prizes and.
Didn't we split
things of that
with
nature.
Main Street,
Main Street last year?
split with Main Street.
and Main Street doesn't exist anymore.
It might be something that we could approach the All Activities Booster Scope with too, to
Yeah.
see if they wanna use that as a fundraiser. It doesn't go to a specific team, but if they were to bring in the cross-country or track teams as the primary ones, and then we would designate half of it to that program, and then the other half to go to.
So it was $50 for the 10 miler last year and then 20 for the 3.
It's a good point on overhead. Kids were kind of disappointed about some sort of, I don't know, some sort of trophy at a certain level.
Right.
Just completely.
'Cause they have
off.
medals or ribbons or medals or
Yeah,
something.
when they come in.
Just thinking time wise, date wise, weather wise, and connecting it to the town. I don't know if we could do it on September 11th. And that may draw a lot of interest if you connect it.
Got that, Matt? You're looking up the
It's
calendar.
gonna be
what
during
day
the
it
school
is.
day if you do.
It is a school day this year, it's a Thursday.
Which I'm not, I mean, we could certainly work around, look at that with the teams and just
But
I
it
don't
may be
think
tough
you
for
get
the
as many
town.
participants.
Yeah, I
A
just,
lot of those people are weekend warriors that
Right.
travel everywhere all summer to
If-
run and.
yeah, I mean, if it was a Saturday and we knew it was September 11th was a Saturday and we could tie it in and create something, but if it's a
We can still do it
Wednesday.
on the 13th.
Or even Labor Day. You have it, essentially.
Labor Day again.
Labor Day is the first Monday in
You just wanna be
September.
careful of participants again, people
Yeah.
travel on Labor Day and.
And the other thing is that we have to be careful for. I think it works best for the fort when we do it because they're not overwhelmed with visitors.
That's right.
Because that's where people have to park.
Oh, that was,
So Labor Day is not gonna be a good weekend for that.
I think they were concerned about pushing it into June.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Because of
Yeah,
parking and stuff.
I'm pretty, but I think there was some correspondence
Yes.
earlier
Yeah.
about that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Depending on the Saturday in May, obviously we can, there's probably a track meet, whatever Saturday you choose, we would lose a lot of competitive high school students to help out, but that doesn't mean that boosters might not be interested in being.
It may be a good fundraiser for them.
There's a couple of
That's a
people
great
on that
carrot
group
for them to help out.
Yeah.
Quite a bit of money.
It doesn't have, it makes sense to have the cross country and track teams do it, but it doesn't necessarily have to be,
It'll be the football team,
I was just,
truthfully.
And I think the only Saturday baseball softball game is the 31st of May, so there's still even more kids around and boosters available too.
Well, if it's all sports boosters, it could be all the teams.
well, that's.
Get out every team, I mean, it's going to all sports boosters and that's for all the teams, so if you could get 4 or 5 kids from every team to just help out wherever needed, then that would be great.
Also go towards their volunteer time.
And you've got a couple of people on there that are pretty good at organizing
Yeah,
and
right.
and drafting
Yeah.
people in that would, again, I don't wanna speak for them, but they'll be selling food and.
Oh, they do
I
well,
mean,
yeah.
The amount of money they made at the Bay Festival last year on selling strawberry shortcake or whatever, I mean.
It's crazy,
Yeah.
crazy. They sold out quickly.
I know that Millinocket, their run that they have up there, they make it an event.
Yeah.
And I think in the past, I think we could do that depending on how big we wanted to make it or how not, but their event is like a really big deal.
Yeah, cutoffs,
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we can talk with
Is it Angel?
Angel
Yeah.
and Jan,
To see if it's something
they
they
would even wanna take on.
wanna take it on or not, so.
I will say, if Angel and Jen take it on, then it gets taken on. and
Right.
We don't have to worry about it. They'll connect with people, but it will be,
All right, anything else on that?
Just going back to our meeting, our board meeting, indoor soccer numbers are down. And I know we haven't had it here for a few years,
Last time
Are
I
the
had it was
kids-
23.
23. So is it that the kids aren't doing it? Is it that we don't have gym availability? Or is it because basketball extends so long that kids are getting overextended? It's gotta be something.
Basketball does play into it, but it's also up until I stopped offering it last year. It's just too much of a headache on the maintenance crew having to fix tiles, adults, because between the balls, no matter how many times I tell the coaches tell the kids, don't kick the balls super high or off the ground at all. Ends up happening. So when you go into Miles Lane, there's a bunch of tiles here and there displaced. So I've just stopped offering it from a safety standpoint too. I've tried to order the soft velvet soccer balls, and each time I've gotten normal soccer balls, which granted, great if needed for the fall, but for indoors it's not exactly the safest. I mean, if it was on a turf field with a net around it, fantastic, we could do it, but in the gym between, just trying to eliminate headaches or any damage to the school.
Do we know what the downfall is with the other regions too?
Uh,
It's not just an us thing. I mean, us, we just haven't even.
Yeah, the numbers are down.
yeah, numbers are
everywhere, I
down
think.
big. I do think I think basketball is playing into it. I mean, our basketball numbers across the board were huge this year. I mean, bigger than in previous years. There's more going on with that. You know, what's Josh, you might know. I know in Ellsworth, in high school and gym, they're playing. It's not soccer, but it's like a smaller ball.
Aiden, you guys do it in, I know they do it in phys ed too.
I don't know what you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah,
You
there's
can explain the sport, I
it's-
guess, it's just like.
well,
soccer.
it's like soccer. It's just it's
Smaller
It's
ball.
a smaller ball,
It's a balls all.
something like that. Yeah, and I know that's
Maybe.
in Ellsworth. It's a big deal. They have like little tournaments and everything, and it might be something that we transition to a little bit. In Ellsworth and Blue Hill right now, one of the benefits, even though we're down in numbers, of the program is that it's really run by the soccer teams. Like all the coaches are varsity soccer players because they're out of season right now. So it's really good as an organization to have those kids coming in. They're working with the younger kids. You know, the parents are just thrilled because of that.
Did we have
sort of-
that at one point? They used to be there.
Scott Fraser and I ran it and we had over 80 kids, but we did it in the middle school because it's a bigger area and there's.
I'm saying coaches, not Scott Fraser.
No, the coaches did get involved.
Yeah.
But I think that was the other problem is some of the coaches didn't want to play games anymore. So they rather do skills, but it stopped. The last year we did it, we had over 80 kids doing indoor soccer.
What was the time frame that you were doing it?
From 9 a.m. till noon. We originally started in the Orland School, and because the first year we had 39, we moved it over to the Bucksport Middle School
What time of year?
in the wintertime because there was no basketball. Basketball was always in the Miles Lane School. Soccer was in the middle school, and adult basketball and softball. Adult basketball and older kid basketball was in the high school, and pitching and soccer was in the middle school. Yeah.
So it was like December, January, or January?
Nope, it was January, February is when we ran it because we also
Same time as basketball.
yeah. So what we would do is we'd coach it there, and then afterwards we would run up to Brewer because there used to be an indoor turf field there, and we'd coach the older kids up there. Yeah, we did 3rd to 4, 5th to 6, 7 to 8, and then the 7 to 8 kids also did travel.
I think the other thing that we're starting to see, especially with our middle school population, is travel volleyball. We're having a lot more kids that are playing volleyball than they used to. And so we have kids that are traveling to Portland. I mean, they're in these leagues now that's become, and now that we've entered that into the middle school as an actual sport.
What's that season?
It's right after basketball season,
Yeah.
which is, I know it's different, but it's kind of like what we do with wrestling.
But it finishes up before softball and baseball.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is volleyball and wrestling season right now.
yeah, for the middle
Yeah,
school.
For the middle school, yeah.
I think our youth wrestling program has 58 kids in it. I think that number went up this year than our.
That tournament's this Sunday, by the way.
Yeah, we're
It's all scheduled.
we're on it.
The other thing to remember, I'm gonna bring this up, is that
Kids are doing things.
kids need a break.
Yeah.
And what I'm seeing, I don't have kids there anymore, what I'm seeing is we are exhausting our kids. And I don't like it, to put it bluntly. I think a lot of kids are being forced to do a lot of things that they may not wanna do, and I've watched one team this year that took a beating on it. Because all of their kids not only do regular sports, but extra sports, but AAU sports, but Portland sports, and now none of them got to play this year because they're all injured because their body is exhausted. So just sitting here listening to it, I can see that, we're trying to do volleyball during this sport, we're trying to get soccer in during this sport, and we're trying to get this in during that, but then you gotta go to softball, and after softball, you gotta get right, kids need a break, and we need to start to pay attention to it. Not only physically, and I'm not gonna get into this, but mentally. And we're seeing a huge issue mentally with kids due to no kid time. They enjoy what they do, but a lot of them need a break. And I just think we need to keep that in mind, that we don't need to do something every day of every month all year long with these kids. You don't. Give them a break, let them be a kid. Some of them go from June right till when school starts, and they have no break all summer.
Mhm.
I mean, and we wonder why we're putting up with a lot of the things we're putting up with, and I know why now. There's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
Anyway, my 2 cents. Anything else? Been waiting to say that a long time, and now I've said it. But it's on the table, I put it, I have more than one job, and I've now put it out there that we have to start to pay attention mentally to these kids.
So one of the questions that brings up then is, you know, what opportunities are there for this group or this community to provide sports for some kids? Sports is also, for some families, it's free after school.
Yeah.
For your middle school kids, your 5th, 6th graders, you know, maybe you don't want them going home alone or whatnot.
Right.
So are there opportunities to provide things that aren't necessarily all about making that travel team and all about, you know, advancing your athletic, you know, like you say,
Right.
giving your body
A break.
giving your brain a break emotionally. I don't have an answer. I'm just saying that this
Yeah.
is something that,
It's a good point.
We might-
What do we do?
what do we do? I mean, there's,
You can't tell them they can't do it, but, and this is a whole.
But I think we
other-
can provide some literature education
Yeah,
around
right.
it, you know, whether it's through live programming or school programming,
Yeah.
that
Spur some
There's obvious-
thoughts in the
right.
parents.
Right,
I
put
mean,
some
there's
thoughts in
benefits
the head.
obviously to, and I grew up doing all the camps and all the stuff, you know, so.
Yeah.
I mean, there's obviously huge benefits to being involved, but I think we can just put the mental health benefits, the physical benefits of allowing yourself for breaks in between and rest and not going 24/7, 365. I think that's a starting point, because I do think there's other opportunities out there. I mean, I just look on the school side. I mean, the number of kids we have on robotics teams and
Right.
chess clubs, and I mean, there's all of the clubs are full. It's not like we can't find people for our
That's
art
good.
club that has
That's
30
great.
kids in it, you know, like they're out there. I just feel it, you know, the kids feel this pressure internally that they're gonna miss out.
Yeah.
Right, or they're not gonna make this team if they're not doing the off-season stuff, and that's, I think, educating parents, but also our coaches, our counselors, that kids need to take a break, it's okay.
And you have some of these kids that are literally doing in the summer stuff, 3 sports, all summer long.
Mhm.
3 different sports, like going from basketball to football to lifting to goalball to 7-on-7, I'm thinking,
We've always had 3 sport
Oh.
athletes, we've just never had a number of summer opportunities for all those sports all at the same time.
Right.
and we're not saying it's not good for them,
No,
but there's a
no, no.
happy medium to it, I just think that.
Some are gonna need it, some of them are not.
Absolutely.
And if you, I won't get into it, but if you really look at it, and you look at our athletes, and I watch them all now, all year long, and some of them need a break, and I'll leave it at that. You can see it in their emotions during games, you can see it in their expressions, I see it in the school, I'm thinking, I'm starting to figure out what's wrong with some of these kids mentally, is they're exhausted. They just are, so, something to keep in mind anyway.
Our 2 youth competitive cheer teams at the cross center on Sunday. The RSU's helpful in getting a bus to drop them off up there, so parents didn't have to wait 3 hours in the parking lot. But the K1 team, one of the teams took home 3rd place, and the other team took home 1st place, which I have a banner. Typically, when a Bucksport team wins a trophy or anything, I up the middle school, I put the gold balls up there so the kids can enjoy it. I can ask Darcy if it's okay to hang the banner up at Miles Lane,
Should be a spot they can put it up.
so. I got a nice, decent sized banner in my office right now, so, but figured I'd share that.
How'd your basketball tournaments do the last?
Pretty good. Holbrook took the 5-6 boys. I only had our girls signed up for 5-6 girls. And then Bucksport swept the 7-8 weekend. Had in total 22 teams between the 2 weekends. 6, 7, 8 girls, 8, 7, 8 boys, and 8, 5, 6 boys. But overall, it went well. Got a lot of compliments. I had a few people not happy with me, but can't please everyone. But overall, it went well. Kids had a lot of fun. Got to see different competition, make new friends.
Don't even ask what they weren't happy about.
It was my own fault.
We'll talk later, that's good. Anything else? Live and learn, I guess. We all do it every day. Next meeting,
March 26th, 9 AM, right here. Which the invite did go out at the same time as this one.
okay,
Motion to adjourn.
And a second.
should we do in a second, all in favor? It's the last time I'll do that.
Excellent.